welcome you live to Georgetown University for the second game of our doubleheader today, and the Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic on the Hill 2014, presented by LacrossePlayground.com. My name is Stu Johnson, and I'm bringing you play-by-play for today's game, courtesy of Prodigy Launch, as we bring you today's second matchup. This one features the Flint Hill Huskies and the St. Stephen's and St. Agnes Saints, two teams who know each other very well. They play frequently, and they'll be matched up today here at Georgetown's multi-sport field. The Huskies come in at 3-4. The Saints are 6-4 on the season, and we're set for the opening face-off from Georgetown after our first game wrapped up. A convincing win for DeMatha today, as they won 17-2 in the opener of this one. And now we're set for game number 2. Adam Rice's Huskies against Andrew Tybal's Saints. Opening face-off, kick towards the wing, and it's scooped up by Nick Cargis. And it'll be the Saints on attack first. They feature John Aversa, Jones Veith, and Nate Jones are the usual 4 attack guys out there, and that's 13 Jones Veith with it now, and they are cycling in their first midfield unit as we speak. See Drew Weissman on the near side. They've got Nate Archer in the middle. Also playing Drew Altizer at the midfield. So all 6 starters out there, normal squad for a Saints team that last year had a very good season. Won the IAC and the Virginia Independent Schools Athletic Association title last year. Went 18-6 on the season. Graduated 9 guys and 6 starters though, so a little bit of turnover and a bit of a slow start for this team. School located in Alexandria, Virginia, coached by Andrew Tybal, 2-time Virginia Independent School Association Athletic Association Coach of the Year, and not the start they wanted as that one kicks to the sideline for a turnover. It's scooped up by Adam Rice, the Flint Hill head coach, and his team off in transition. That's Nick Peterson, big part of their offense. The senior is spinning about 15 yards from cage and now backs it out. Peterson, the leading goal scorer for this team, 21 so far this season, far and away the most dangerous offensive player. He's going to be playing his college lacrosse next year at Middlebury. And certainly when we spoke with Coach Tybal during the week, he identified Peterson as the #1 threat he needed to contain, his team needed to contain. Flint Hill a little short-handed. I spoke to Coach Rice before the game started, and he said we've got 5 guys rushing over from taking their ACTs. So they might be getting some late arrivals here. Right now their bench has only got a handful of players on there. Down there about 4, 5, 6 guys, so trying to add some more. A much more robust bench on the St. Stephen's St. Agnes side, as we're 2 minutes in with no score. And that's Matt Zecca turning the corner, tries to get that shot on cage. Zach Fan there to deflect it. He's the netminder for the Saints, junior. 60 saves in his first 8 games. He's kept his team in pretty much every game this year, as a flag comes out as Peterson gets shoved, and possession for the Huskies and a man-up chance upcoming. So we'll see if they can capitalize here before the penalty. 2.5 minutes in, no score. Peterson, tough angle, didn't get it. Gets the miss, however. Flips it out towards Jake Shevlin. He tries one. That one backed up as well after it missed. That was Matt Zecca, who the Huskies are very happy to get back in the lineup. He takes their face-offs, and they had really struggled without him around. Came back a couple games ago, and he'll also play attack. That pass not on target there from Shevlin, and now a man-up chance with 9:06 to go in the first. Yeah, 30-second man-up opportunity on the push. Whistled on Nick Cargis, the pole. Long stick midfielder for the Saints. So here come the Huskies. 30 seconds, trying to get on the board first. We saw some very quick scoring in our first game. This game a little bit more of a measured pace. Teams feeling each other out. And a swing and a miss from Peterson. That one kicks all the way to the far side. It'll be Jake Shevlin to have it on the restart. 15 seconds to go and the man-up chance. Here comes, that was number 3, Chris Abrigo, who's out there with his man-up unit. And that shot up top and a goal. Peterson from the wing, and it's 1-0 Huskies. Now he's the heart of this offense, and the senior's stepping into one with 6 seconds to go in the extra man opportunity, and he finishes it off with a flourish. Another look at this one here. Plenty of time and room, and he stepped down from 9. Nice looking shot there for Peterson. So 1-0 your score with 8:42 to go in the first. Another face-off here, and again, this is a spot where you really want to get the most out of Zeka you can without playing him too much early, and the Saints were able to win that face-off. That time it was Reed Lavin taking it, not Zeka, and Coach Rice telling us during the week they're still working him back in. It's not going to be like he's taking every face-off, but they had really scuffled without him in the lineup, and getting him back should be a big advantage. Chance running in, and a shot taken there from Will Dyson, the midfielder. The save made, but the ball's loose in front, controlled by the Huskies. That was Drew Fellows, the senior goalie. You got to look at there, making a big first save on a shot where he was challenged by Dyson, who got a bit of a running start. Fellows described as the team MVP of this unit, as Flint Hill gives it right back in a failed clear. He's playing behind a very inexperienced group of defenders. They'll be tested here in transition. Shot ripped, and another save. Sam Dyson, the cousin of Will Dyson, denied on that shot try, as Fellows up for the challenge again. 4 of the supposed main components of this defense for Flint Hill are out with ACL injuries, lost for the year, or lost to graduation, Another one to an ACL injury. So 5 guys gone who played last year's defense, one of them unexpectedly, and it's a different looking group this year for Adam Rice. They're going to have Jeremy Timblin. They're going to have Malik Zahed, Aaron Ellison as well. Going to see a lot of Ben Waters, the long stick midfielder, of course, but this is a team that really needs to get strong production from a veteran goalie on what is otherwise a very inexperienced defensive unit. Timblin, for example, only a freshman, and the others had not played much before this year. Pressure applied on Tommy Shumway, and he gets away a bad bounce pass, but it'll be tracked down by Jake Shevlin, the senior. Gets a step, going to the middle, draws the slide, tries a shot, and an easy save that time for Zach Fan. Fan replacing Sam Beazle, who was the goalie for the Saints last year. That bounce shot on the move from the pole. Nick Kargas, who's been very active early on. Certainly the Saints looking for a quick restart there, and the officials say not so fast. Substitutions coming on now for the Saints. They'll slow things down, but Beazle, a 3-time All-Virginia goalkeeper, is now playing for Loyola. So freshman, one of the best goalies in school history for a very strong program, and they've been impressed with the way Zach Fan has stepped in to fill the void after he spent last year being tutored by Beazle as the backup goalie in his sophomore season. Saints with it now. That's Nate Jones, who had it behind, and still has it, in fact. Backing up and given some space. He's quarterbacking with Jones Veith behind. And that's Veith, the senior. Flips to the wing. Nice spin move there inside, and that's Drew Weissman getting it done. Off the spin move, shooting on the run. The crafty junior midfielder ties the score up at 1 with 5:51 to go in the first period. Well, it's a very deep team here for St. Stephen's St. Agnes, and that time, nice bit of dodging and a bounce shot from Weissman. Tallies the first goal of the game to even the score. Here's another face-off, kicks into the air. Chance to get it for Kargas, but he whiffed. But his teammate Hayden McDonald there to retrieve. And here come the Saints, already on the board. Game tied at 1 now. So you've gotten a look at Drew Weissman, who got off to a fast start, scored a couple goals in a tight loss to Gonzaga in the opener for the Saints, but has struggled since then. And Andrew Tybel looking to get more out of his junior on his first midfield, and he has a nice start to this one. Turning the corner and a bounce shot try from Nate Jones, and a nice save from Fellows going down low. And Jones, a senior, got a good look that time. Transition perhaps, see if they push it. The Huskies with possession. Seem to be slowing things down a little bit. Shevlin with an ill-advised pass, knocked away. Loose on the turf. Who's going to come up with this ground ball? Still up for grabs as it kicks towards midfield, and there's Kargas once again on the scene. The senior will be playing at Denison next year, wins the ground ball and gets a possession here for his attack as Jones-Veith takes it into the far corner. It's been a lot of Veith and Jones so far behind the cage. John Aversa, who's touching the ball now, is a guy you've got to keep an eye on too. He's playing at Penn next year. He's a smaller, shiftier type of attackman. Jones a lefty, as is Veith. Jones new to the school this year. He's from a military family and transferred in this year. He's headed to Army next year. He's gotten off to a nice start shooting the ball this season for this team. John Aversa quarterbacking behind right now with his fellow number one, Drew Fellows, the goalie, keeping an eye on him through the netting and certainly content to slow things down. Aversa flips to the wing and lets his teammates reset. That's Weissman behind. Here comes Aversa turning the corner, had a look, didn't get much on that. And it's scooped up by Chris Abrigo, the junior, trying to clear through a lot of traffic and getting nowhere. Ball taken away, and it's Jones with it. Jones circling back behind. Good ride that time from the Saints. This is a team that has ridden much better in recent games, and they're hoping to turn that into more transition opportunities. Altizer to the near side for Archer. Nate Archer behind for Jones. A team that really needs to improve in its offensive execution if it's to succeed. They're turning the ball over a lot more than they want to through the first 10 games of this season. Jones now shoved back below goal line, extended, well defended by Abrigo, but a nice move inside. That's Aversa getting it done, left-handed. And it's 2-1. The Saints take the lead with 2:42 to go here in the first quarter of play. Well, he's not a lefty. Jones and Veith, his fellow attackmen, are left-handed. Aversa's righty, I believe, but he was able to do a nice job there, getting in position to shoot with the left and put his team on top 2-1. That's a face-off there to be won for Flint Hill, and Lavin couldn't scoop it up. And again, this has been an area which has been a real concern for this team with Matt Zecca hurt in the early part of the season. Zecca's guy going to play at Bates next year. He's a definite talent, and he's a senior with experience. If they can get him healthier as the season goes on, taking more face-offs, I'm sure that'll be a big help for this team. But at the moment, they're trying to limit him, ease him back into action, at least in that regard, and certainly have struggled without him to win possessions for them. This is Wade Shervin, number 31 in the game at the midfield now for the Saints. Poor pass from Jones-Veith. Rolls towards the sideline in front of the bench, and a nice job to keep that in by Nate Jones. Good effort there, but he has it knocked out of his stick. An aggressive play from Tommy Shumway, and possession back to the Huskies. And eating some turf is Shumway as he tried to clear it. Sticks out, flags down, everything's loose, and it's Timblin with it now, and looks like a man-up chance coming up here for Flint Hill. Almost another stick to the head that time, but no extra flag as Peterson takes it into the zone. Flint Hill's already 1 for 1 on man-up chances, and showing the officials hearing it right now from the Saints sideline as that shot misses behind, and now we'll get a look at another man-up chance for the Huskies. They trail 2-1. Getting a push is the call, and it goes against Jones-Veith, the senior attackman. So 32nd man up for Flint Hill. See your score bug there that it's 2-1. This St. Stephen's on top of Flint Hill, and you also see in the bottom right-hand corner our sponsor Trilogy Lacrosse, and they've been nice enough to support us today, giving you the chance to watch this game online, and we'll have more on them throughout this broadcast. 10 seconds to go on the man-up chance here for Flint Hill. Here's Nick Peterson, can't pull it in. Man up chance expires, kicks to the midfield, and there's Kargas once again. He is the type of pull you love to have at 6'2". He's got tremendous range in his lanky frame, and he did a nice job to win that ground ball. That's at least 3 he's scooped up so far. Veith and Jones, and it's Veith trying to turn the corner, and another veteran play by Fellows, who had his stick position in just the right spot to prevent that shot from getting by him. Kicks to the end line, and possession stays with the Saints. They lead 2-1. We've got 20 ticks to go here in the first quarter of play. Nice spin inside. That's an easy finish up top. That's Drew Weissman's second of the game, and a huge goal there with 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Weissman getting it done on his own. Let's take another look. Great footwork on this dodge. Trying to turn the corner. He's working on Jeremy Timblin, and he juked him out of his shoes. Timblin, only a freshman, trying to step up in this defense that had a lot of guys graduate and an injury or two as well. And that time he got beaten by Weissman to put the Saints up 3-1, and that is 3 unanswered goals for St. Stephen's, 2 of them by Weissman. 14 seconds to go. Let's see if Flint Hill can mount anything. They can't pull the face-off in either. Once again, it's Lavin who had a chance to win it and couldn't, and now the last shot can go to the Saints. It's Jones-Veith. That one won't go, and with a second and a half left, we'll see if they can get anything off before the end of our first quarter. Competitive game so far. Certainly could go either way. That tossed in front off the stick of Jones right to Fellows, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 3-1 your score as we hit the break between the first and second quarter. Opening goal was from Nick Peterson for Flint Hill. Drew Weissman scored 2 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the quarter, and then in between a goal for John Aversa. We'll be back with more the second quarter here from Georgetown.
At the Academic Aces, what we're trying to do is narrow the recruiting field to reward the players and coaches that strive for a high academic excellence. The players have worked incredibly hard to get the right grades, GPA, SAT scores, etc. And for coaches that spend the bulk of their summers looking at players that they have no idea whether they can recruit, we want to make sure that our event ensures that both parties are a compatible match.
I'm Drew Bizik from Hamilton College, down here at the Academic Aces tournament. The weather's been great, and the play's been outstanding so far.
Here at Trilogy Academic Aces, and it's going really well. Lots of talent here, and lots of smart kids.
You know, there's tons of talent here from a coach's perspective, which is great. Kids that are, qualified academically, as well as talent on the field.
Academic Aces is going smooth so far. A lot of good players. Excited to see what the rest of the week holds out.
I've been really impressed with Academic Aces. It's been a ton of fun. I've been pushed to my limits. All the coaches are amazing, and the level of competition is really high.
It's a tough challenge these days to find the right opportunities for your kid. There's so many choices among camps, and this has been a really great opportunity for him to meet and learn about the recruiting process.
Welcome back to Georgetown as we start the second quarter of play. 3-1, St. Stephen's leads Flint Hill. Saw the spot for Trilogy Lacrosse there. They're a leader in lacrosse education, providing instruction, competition, and exposure to players across the country. If you're interested in playing lacrosse in college, you should join Trilogy this summer at one of their invitation-only ACES events for the best possible exposure and competition. Trilogy's ACES events provide players with tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to be seen by top NCAA lacrosse coaches. And with specific events for middle school players, 2017 graduates, and high-achieving student-athletes, Trilogy has an ACES event for every elite player. All ACES events are invitation-only and nearing capacity, so players who wish to be invited can fill out the application on TrilogyLacrosse.com. Visit TrilogyLacrosse.com/ACES to learn more and apply today. Well, possession here for Flint Hill as they've got it in the offensive end, and that's number 14, Tommy Shumway, the junior, with it. Shumway going to work against a couple poles that time and gets it back out to the near side wing. Flint Hill scored the first goal in this game. It was about 3 minutes in, but they haven't scored since. So now their 1-0 lead turned into a 3-1 deficit here. Maintain possession. Start of the second quarter of play. It's a deeper roster, certainly, for St. Stephen's, St. Agnes, so it'll be interesting to see if that's something that gives them an advantage the rest of the way. These two teams have played each other many times over the course of the last several years, and Nick Peterson nearly got his stick knocked right out of his hands, but somehow Flint Hill able to keep possession. Pass to the middle. Shumway tries a shot. It's a low angle, and it's a save made. Not too difficult for Zach Fan. And these two teams met last year, and it was one of the toughest games of the season when they met in the regular season, according to St. Stephen's coach Andy Tybal. Team was trailing 5-2 to Flint Hill before they pulled out an 8-7 regular season win. They then beat them again in the playoffs last year. That was as Flint Hill was an 8 seed. I believe that was a quarterfinal game. And meeting again here, in a lot of history, of course, because Adam Rice, the Flint Hill head coach, spent, said 10 years or so teaching and coaching at St. Stephen's, so he has a ton of respect for the program his squad is facing off with today. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, trying to turn the corner. There is a Versa, and a good job defensively for Flint Hill to back him off. This is Weissman trying to get his hands free, and that one not too close. Backed up by Aversa. Aversa had 3 goals against St. Anne's Belfield School earlier this season. That pass up top, and a rifle shot from 15, and a goal for Nate Archer. He'll be at Cornell next year, and he tallies his first today. 4-1, St. Stephen's on top. 9:33 to go in the second quarter. Aversa notches the assist, so he's had a hand in a couple goals now. He scored unassisted to give the Saints a 2-1 lead, and he sets up Archer there to make it 4-1. It's another face-off, and this is an area where Flint Hill desperately needs to improve. They've struggled out of the gate in this area, and they do get the ground ball. Let's see if they can keep possession. Not happening. Almost a yard sale there as that ball got knocked right out of the stick of Jake Shemlin. And a good timeout here taken by the Saints bench. It was right in front of them, and they could see some trouble coming as John Aversa was being pinned to the sideline, but was able to get the timeout call to bail him out before he lost possession. So with 9:18 to go in the second quarter, 4-1, the Saints lead the Huskies. And again, no Matt Zecca here on the face-offs for Flint Hill. I think he took the first one of the game, but since then we haven't seen him. It's been a whole lot of Reed Lavin, who's a junior without as much experience in that area. Let's take a look at some NCAA scores from yesterday first. We have a number of big games last night, none bigger than the University of Virginia taking on number 2 Duke, matchup of 2 top 10 teams, and Duke able to pull that one out 17-15, high-scoring affair there. Another good season for the defending national champions, the Duke Blue Devils. Yale topped Brown 7-6 in Ivy League action. Nice year for Yale, now 13 in the country. Hobart topped Wagner comfortably 15-6. Bucknell all over Lafayette 13-1. And then a final from earlier today, a Big Ten matchup. And Ohio State a 15-6 winner over arch rival Michigan. That game being played in Columbus. And another rough season for the Wolverines so far as they try to launch this D1 program. And a couple games in action at the moment. Hofstra and Penn even at 4. That game in the second quarter. VMI in overtime. And they've got Penn trailing Harvard 3-2 in the second quarter. Number 11 Penn trying to hang on to win that end. Of course, Sandy Murdoch's Princeton Tigers with a 7-3 lead over Dartmouth in the second quarter. Thanks to Sandy for these score updates, and we'll try to get you a few more as the afternoon continues, because I know we've got a number of other games facing off a little later and some games in action, so we'll try to keep you posted on all of that. Second game of this tournament here today in the Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic. Comfortable win for DeMatha, 17-2, and now a more competitive game between Flint Hill and St. Stephen's and St. Agnes. So behind the cage, Jones-Veith to the wing, and this is a look for Weissman. Pass it up to Spin inside, and he finishes again. That's the third goal of the game for Drew Weissman, and each time he's done it through some crafty dodging. And he got his hands free, got the lefty look, and he finished again. Let's take another look at Weissman with his third goal of the game. Makes it 5-1. And let's not overlook a nice cross-field pass there to set up Weissman. Fakes the shot, fakes to the middle, spins to his left, nobody near, and he bounces a lefty shot by Fellows. Easy face-off win for the Saints. Had a look right in front, but no goal from Peterson. Missed that shot well to the left. Luke Peterson with a golden opportunity to score off the face-off win from Garrison Ketta, but couldn't pull that one out. 5 out of 7 face-offs controlled by St. Stephen's St. Agnes. This one kicks to the near sideline, and Wade Shervin can't pick it up, still loose. And a nice extra effort there by the Saints to keep possession. That was the senior John Aversa laying out to kick it to or to push it towards a teammate and keep possession. They're already up 5-1. They've scored 5 unanswered goals. St. Stephen's now up by 4 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Aversa, one of so many seniors on this team. Tough low-angle shot hit the side of the net and picked up by Fellows. This team has 12 seniors, and most of the guys they're going to run out there are seniors. And for that reason, Andy Tybel decided that he wasn't going to name any captains this year specifically. He was just going to let all 12 guys take responsibility. Peterson had another shot. Second time he's trying to wind up for one and didn't get anything on it at all. Flag comes down as a Saints player got pushed to the ground. And it'll be a man-up opportunity for St. Stephen's at the next stoppage in play. That was Graham Leon, who got shoved to the turf, one of the close defenders, and another senior on this roster. But Andy Tybel letting these guys sort of take control. He said when you have 12 seniors as a group, you're going to have a lot of different personalities. You want them all to have a role in providing leadership and creating a team experience for the younger guys. So let them do it together. He said if there are a couple guys who've had a really good week of practice, then we'll let them go out for the coin toss, but this is a total team effort this year. 6:45 to go in the second quarter. It's 5-1. St. Stephen's with the lead. Team effort so far, but no one's been more important than Drew Weissman, who's scored 3 goals so far for St. Stephen's. They've done a nice job in the defensive end, too, after they tried to ride aggressively. It led to an opportunity for the Huskies in transition, but nothing doing for Nick Peterson, who's been kept in check today. Shot on the run and a lefty look from Jones. So the southpaw misses wide. This guy's got a very good work ethic and a good shot from the left side as the man-up opportunity will be 1 minute long after the trip call on Nick Peterson. So one of the captains sits down in the penalty area and a minute-long man-up for St. Stephen's, and you're getting to the point if you're Flint Hill here where you really can't afford to fall behind too much more. Already down by 4 goals and now going to play a man down for a minute. Altizer. A lot of circling up here offensively. That's a look for Weissman. Didn't take it. He's been feeling it early on. Here's Altizer from 15. Maybe not the best look there with 30 seconds to go in the man up. as he fires a midsection level shot at Drew Fellows, who takes it in, and now a big stop for Flint Hill, and they'll try to kill off the remaining 20 seconds on this man down and look to be able to do so fairly comfortably if they can get the ball in the hands of Tommy Shumway, and they do that, but Shumway gets tripped up from behind. Here comes a flag, and he's able to keep possession even as he hit the turf. Yeah, that was pretty easy call, and now a man-up chance for Flint Hill, but they have possession first, so that'll be their third man-up try of the half once it gets going. 5:15 to go, second quarter. It's 5-1, St. Stephen's on top, and now Flint Hill trying to mount the comeback. They scored the game's first goal, but 5 unanswered for their opponent out of the Interstate Athletic Conference. Flint Hill playing in the MAC. Off to a slow start this year, 3-4 record, but they have not lost in the MAC yet. Going to need to get something out of Matt Zecca, who has not much on that pass. It bounces a couple hops to Peterson. Well defended by Kargas. He's had a very nice first half. A long stick midfielder is involved in all the face-offs and much of the defense for this St. Stephen's team. But Flint Hill trying to keep possession, knowing that they'll have a man-up chance if they do not score at the next stoppage in play. Zecca through traffic, draws a crowd, bounces when another flag comes out. And this could be very promising for Flint Hill here. That shot bounces over the cage, but with 2 flags down, they could be looking at a 6-on-4 opportunity here. So you've got 16, Sam Cloud initially called for a slash. That'll be a minute, and then a 30-second whistle on a push from John Aversa. So that was the first penalty on Aversa, and the second one, which compounded the issue, is the full minute one on Cloud, the defender, who's playing at Washington College next year, which is Andy Teibel, his head coach's alma mater. He was one of the best goalies in Washington College history, but now a test for Zach Phan, the goalie for the Saints, but with some help from his defense, Flint Hill won't get a shot off. 6-on-4, and they turn it over. 3:45 to go in the quarter. Now, you've got 10 seconds to go on the 2-man down, and now 35 seconds left on the man down, but you can't ask for much more than that defensively if you're Andy Teibel's. Got to be very pleased with that. Although the clear goes awry. Pass well out in front of Wade Shervin, and now possession back with Flint Hill. Clearing has not been a strength for any of the teams today, and with 17 seconds still to go on a 6-on-5, a smart time out there from Adam Rice, who wants to set something up for his team on attack after things looked a little disjointed in their 6-on-4, and they didn't have too many guys on the offensive end as it was taken in by Peterson, so they'll have to set things up, and they could really use a goal here. They've scored in their first man-up chance, did not score in their second, and 2 men up here late in the second, couldn't tally anything. Now have 17 seconds left to get something done with a man-up advantage, trailing 5-1. They've been shut out since the 8:42 mark of the first quarter. That was an early goal from Peterson, but following that, it's been all Saints. I mentioned Andy Teibel, the head coach for St. Stephen's and St. Agnes, and one of the really great Division III goalies of all time. He was an All-American. He was a national champion in 1998, his final year playing for the Shoremen at Washington College, which is another strong Division III lacrosse program in Chestertown, Maryland. 711 career saves. He was inducted into their Athletic Hall of Fame 4 years ago, and part of a really strong program there. He's been twice named the Virginia Independent School Athletic Association Coach of the Year. Did it in 2007, did it again in 2010, and last year winning both the Interstate Athletic Conference and Visa titles with an 18-6 overall record. You know, this year's team as a group, he says, doesn't shoot the ball as well as maybe some other teams can, but they're a good sum parts offense. They're really strong defensively. He's thrilled with the production he's gotten from Zach Fan in his first year as a starting goalie. And obviously he's got a great guy to coach in goal, or a great teacher, or mentor really, at netminding in his head coach, Andy Teibel. But he's returned the compliments, that he's loved working with Fan, and he's been a very hard-working guy and a really big addition to this team. And Flint Hill's man-up chance peters out without getting so much as a good look on Cage, and we're back at even strength. 3 minutes to go. Second quarter of play, 5-1 St. Stephen's. Huskies in bad need of a score. James Farrell, the junior, gets it to the point there for Chris Abrigo. We haven't heard much from today, and the roster size really is apparent. Peterson is such an enormous part of what Flint Hill does. Nick Peterson, the senior, who is part of this midfield unit, and really without him, it's just, or if he's taken away, it's a lot harder for them to manufacture something. And a bad turnover, ball rolls right to Aversa. Fast break coming, goes down low, 6-1 St. Stephen's. Well, that errant pass rolled all the way to the midline, through several players, and right to Aversa, and then it just became a lacrosse version of an old hockey shootout. And it was Aversa all alone going down the floor, or down the turf, I should say, and taking on Drew Fellows, who's done his best in the cage, but not much he could do there as Aversa goes down low. That's his second goal of the game. He also has an assist. And 6 unanswered for St. Stephen's, and they lead this game 6-1 with 2:17 to go and a timeout taken by Flint Hill, who, after starting the game with plenty of promise, has seen a very rough offensive stretch now without a goal for, well, just about 18 minutes. Take a look now at some more scores from around Division I lacrosse today. Got some updated scores and some games we haven't told you about yet. Siena defeated Detroit 9-8. That game is a final. Canisius over Quinnipiac 11-10, another final. And VMI losing to Furman 13-12. So some very competitive games. All three of those one-goal games. Another competitive game worth watching today is Hofstra and Cornell. And so far in the third quarter, it is the Pride from Hofstra out in front of the Big Reds 6-4. So that's a game worth watching. Cornell coming in at number 6 in the country, and obviously having lost some key contributors from last year, still a very good team. Hofstra giving them a battle. Number 1, Loyola. We saw one of their most famous grads, Bobby Horsey, who's coaching St. Andrews Episcopal in the first game today. In his second year as head coach there, he was one of the really great players of Loyola, and his squad up 4-1, or his alma mater, I should say, up 4-1 over BU. That game in the third quarter of play, and Penn is trailing Harvard 4-3 in the third as well. Bryant in front of Mount St. Mary's, low-scoring game, 3-2 in the third quarter of play, and Princeton comfortable lead on Dartmouth at the moment, 8-4. That game in the third. So those are your updates from around Division I. Right here it's 6-1. St. Stephen's and St. Agnes on top of Flint Hill. 2:17 to go in the first half of play. Be about a 10-minute intermission between the start of the third quarter and the conclusion of this one. And we hope you'll stick with us for the remainder of this afternoon's lacrosse. And it's once again Reed Lavin taking the face-off for Flint Hill, and again a little bit of trouble keeping possession. Here come the Saints, and it's a very quick goal indeed for Garrison Ketta, who takes most of the face-offs for St. Stephen's, doing a really nice job today, and that's, I believe, his second goal of the year. Gets out on the break after winning the face-off, and why not shoot it? Gets rewarded for another strong effort at the X. He's usually 50-50 or better this year. He's had games where he's taken over against Penn Charter and Episcopal Academy, and you're looking at the replay there as he wins the face-off, gets a step on the players surrounding him from Flint Hill, and then says, well, I can shoot too. I'm an athlete. Here he goes from 10, and he bounces one in. And it's another win here for St. Stephen's St. Agnes. This one a ground ball that gets over to Hayden McDonald, the senior, part of this defensive midfield for the Saints. And so they'll keep possession, now up 7-1. Well, they haven't need to assist too many goals today. Only one assist handed out. It's been a lot of transition and obviously some good dodging, really, has set up most of the goals. And that time a face-off win, and this time it's the left-handed shot of Nate Jones getting it done. The senior rips one in from the wing, and it's a 8-1 lead. The minute 34 to go in the second quarter. Let's take another look at Jones in his first year playing for St. Stephen's, off to Army next year, and a nice-looking shot from distance there. Well, down 8-1. Flint Hill will finally switch up its look on face-offs. They sent Alex Burns out there. So junior attackman we hadn't seen much of, and he does a little bit of a better job as the team had a chance to get possession, but the loose ball scrum in the defensive end for the Saints produces a whistle, and will get possession of Flint Hill. Minute 15 to go, second quarter. Peterson trying to snap a stretch of 8 consecutive goals for St. Stephen's. He gets it inside, but it's knocked right out of the stick of one of his teammates in there and turned over. I'm going to guess that was Tucker Riley, because we didn't have him on the roster and there's no 22 listed, but he's part of the attack for Flint Hill, so I hope I'm getting that right. He was not put on any of the rosters we got, but I'm pretty sure that was him. He couldn't handle that pass inside, and now another look for St. Stephen's, trying to make it 9 straight into the intermission. 30 seconds to go, second quarter. It's 8-1. The Saints are on top. And that's another look for Weissman. He's got 3 already, and that time catches pipe. He's feeling it today, and he dialed one up from the wing in the near side and got plenty of mustard on it. Fellows saved by the near post. 15 seconds now to go. It's Chase Gorey getting some time. Here comes Weissman again. He's had a big day, and he's going to draw a double. Couple poles on him as well. Flips to his right. Nice pass. Shot coming and a goal. Excellent awareness from Weissman. 2 poles on him. He flips to his teammate Turner Schmidt. And Schmidt able to finish with exactly 1 second left to go in the first half. 9 straight goals for St. Stephen's, and that time a really nice job by Weissman, who's done it all today. Scored 3 already, drawing a crowd, getting some attention, and he takes advantage to by finding Turner Schmidt all alone in the opposite wing, and he rips the shot low to high to score. And this is so nice to see for Coach Tybel, because he had really said we need to get more out of Drew Weissman coming into this game. The junior got off to a good start. Lately he's been playing a little bit below where we know he can play, and today, what a first half for him. He scored 3 goals. He's now set up another, and the last one coming with just 1 second on the clock as we hit the intermission now with a 9-1 lead for St. Stephen's. They're on top of Flint Hill. We'll be back in about 9.5 minutes with coverage of the second half here from Georgetown University. You are watching Prodigy Launch's broadcast of the Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic on the Hill 2014, presented by lacrosseplayground.com.
Today's live broadcast is brought to you by Prodigy Launch. Contact Prodigy to create your lacrosse recruiting highlight video today. Take a moment to watch and learn why Prodigy's recruiting highlight videos are the most advanced as well as the best value. Visit prodigyhighlights.com to learn more about Prodigy highlight videos and to order your high school recruiting video. Our highlight video is the most advanced in the country. Each video features a player introduction, player isolation graphics, in-video player information, background music, and online upload and delivery. 20 play videos feature custom team colors and up to 8 instant replays. Let's look at each of those features a little more closely. The player introduction starts each video, but more importantly, when players email their highlight video to recruiters, the player introduction is the first screen they see. The player introduction displays important information like player height, weight, and graduation year. Player introductions can be as detailed or as simple as the player wishes. The player isolation graphic is the most important part of the video. The graphic isolates the player prior to each play, making it easy to identify you throughout the video. Players who choose a 20-play highlight video can choose 2 custom team colors for their isolation graphic. Recruiters watch thousands of videos a year, and usually 15 to 20 per day. The in-video player information bar reminds recruiters who's in the video, and it displays your vital stats throughout the entire video. Players who choose a 20-play highlight video can indicate up to 8 plays that feature instant replay. Show off those great plays one more time. Once we complete your video, it's uploaded online and emailed to you immediately. Simply email your highlight video link to any recruiter, coach, or friend for instant watching. This feature is especially great for last-minute recruiting videos and for players who want to quickly send their videos immediately after their season or after a tournament. The best feature of our videos is their flexibility. You can embed your video into any online recruiting service. Or if you want the digital copy of the video, we can email a download link that allows you to quickly download your video. Need DVDs? Just let us know and we can make as many DVDs as you need for a small charge. While these are the greatest features of our highlight videos, we encourage you to contact us to ask how we can customize your video experience. We want to make your video work for you. Visit prodigyhighlights.com to learn more about Prodigy highlight videos and to order your high school recruiting video.
At the Academic Aces, what we're trying to do is narrow the recruiting field to reward the players and coaches that strive for a high academic excellence. The players have worked incredibly hard to get the right grades, GPA, SAT scores, etc. And for coaches that spend the bulk of their summers looking at players that they have no idea whether they can recruit, we want to make sure that our event ensures that both parties are a compatible match.
I'm Drew Bizik from Hamilton College, down here at the Academic Aces tournament. The weather's been great, and the play's been outstanding so far.
Here at Trilogy Academic Aces, and it's going really well. Lots of talent here, and lots of smart kids.
You know, there's tons of talent here from a coach's perspective, which is great. Kids that are qualified academically, as well as talent on the field.
Academic Aces is going smooth so far. A lot of good players. Excited to see what the rest of the week holds out.
I've been really impressed with Academic Aces. It's been a ton of fun. I've been pushed to my limits. All the coaches are amazing, and the level of competition is really high.
It's a tough challenge these days to find the right opportunities for your kid. There's so many choices among camps, and this has been a really great opportunity for him to meet and learn about the recruiting process.
We welcome you back to the second half of today's second game of our doubleheader as part of this 2014 Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic on the Hill. Getting a look at the final goal of the first half on a great feed from Drew Weissman. Shot buried by Turner Schmidt. Put the St. Stephen's St. Agnes Saints up by a 9-1 score, and right away they're on the board again in the second half. That is 10 unanswered goals for the Saints. That one tallied by Garrison Ketta. Believe. Take another look at it. I was still getting ready for the half, but the Saints were more than ready to go. Just 5 seconds in, they're scoring. Now that's not Ketta. That's trying to ID who that was. Looked like it might have been Nate Jones, that number 4. See if we can get ID on that goal there. So start of the third, and it's more of the same. 10-1 edge for the Saints after winning yet another face-off. They have been with the ball in the offensive end pretty much the entirety of the second quarter, it felt like anyway, and the few Flint Hill possessions offensively were short-lived. So we've got a 10-1 lead, and St. Stephen's in possession. That's Weissman, who had a great first half. Now it's Aversa. Aversa getting a shot down low. Nice save made there. Fellows able to handle it. And now we'll see if Flint Hill can clear, which has not always been easy. A little more than a minute in, and that's a poor pass there, and another failed clear. And once again, it's Nick Kargas, the senior on the spot, to come up with that. Kargas really coming on today, and that's big because Andy Tybel, the head coach for St. Stephen's, said, this guy is an enormous part of our defense, and he's a huge part of our transition offense. He wins ground balls, but he's a three-sport athlete, and he got a little nicked up during hockey season in the winter, and now he seems to be back at full strength. He's playing lacrosse at Denison next year, and you can certainly see why, as he's played a very nice game today on the wings and as the LSM for this squad. Here's Aversa. Plays catch with Veith to the wing. Low to high shot from Jones. That one's sailing a little bit upstairs. But Nate Jones tallied a goal in the first half. Let one rip from way outside to score that one, and this time from a similarly lengthy distance. Comes up empty. His team keeps possession. I realized at the halftime we hadn't really gotten a chance to talk about many of these St. Stephen's defensive players, just because when you win every face-off, they don't have to do a whole lot. And that's another goal from Weissman. He's feeling it today. That's 4 goals for the junior and an assist as well, and it is 11-1. Here's another look at it. Feed from Nate Archer set that up, and then he stops. He pivots to his right. Again, it's all on the dodging, and he's done a really nice job shaking defenders. He had a shorty on him still, which is, a matchup I'm sure he likes right now, up, with the type of game he's had, and he finishes it off for another goal. So, 11-1. Flint Hill actually able to come up with a ground ball there off the faceoff, but not able to maintain it. Ball's now loose, and a nice trail check from Flint Hill's Reed Lavin. Ball got loose, and a flag came out from the official on the far side of the field. And we'll have to see what this call is with 9:35 to go. Third quarter. And you got a slash called here. And that'll go against Tommy Shumway. Gets called for a slash. Flint Hill, who almost came away with that face-off, still had a chance to get the ground ball, ends up giving possession right back. It's interesting, you look through the 11 straight goals here for St. Stephen's, and a lot of all but I think 2 of them have been unassisted. It's been really just good footwork, good dodging. They pass the ball well, they've set up chances, but it's been a lot of guys dodging from the top that have really made this work, and Weissman has been chief among them. But to finish the thought, this is a very strong defensive squad. Andy Tybal said that was the strongest part of this team was the experienced defense, as Drew Altizer forgets something there, left that ball behind. See if Flint Hill can get up, gather in this ground ball. Jeremy Timblin, the freshman, does so and gets it to Fellows in goal. This is a defense that's really just a stellar group of guys. You've got Graham Leon, a senior who's going to play at Colby next year. We got Joe Kenna as Flint Hill trying to run off the last 10 seconds of that man down, turns it right back over. Joe Kenna, senior, is playing at UNC next year and the best overall defenseman according to his head coach, despite battling some knee and ankle injuries early this year. And then Sam Cloud, another senior, will be playing college ball at D3 Wash College next year. So that group, though they haven't gotten tested too much today, is certainly probably the backbone of this team, along with junior goalie Zach Fan, who we talked about a little earlier. Well, getting a look at Wade Sherbin now. Will Dyson, who's on this second midfield. Dodging from the top, it's Archer. Tries a bounce shot, didn't miss it by much. Just missed the far pipe that time as he let one fly on the run. Archer at Cornell next year. There's a lot of future college players on the team for St. Stephen's. On the other side, you know, Adam Rice saying is another goal scored here. That was a Versa letting it go. And it's now 12-1. And we'll take another look at that. Adam Rice saying a lot of his guys aren't going to play at college, but in a way that makes this game even more special. Just being able to get on a college field and have that experience could be sort of once in a lifetime. And they came out of the gate with the first goal, but since then it's been all St. Stephen's. And John Aversa's third goal of the game that time, dodging from behind the cage, makes it 12-1. Aversa showing his skills. Not a big guy, as a face-off violation will get Flint Hill the ball here, but certainly Aversa guy who can dodge and he can make people miss and he can fit some passes in there too. So a different look in the midfield here. We're going to see Chris Abrigo out there. He'll be joined by Jake Shevlin. And in 14, that's our friend Tommy Shumway coming through there with an unassisted goal with 7:26 to go in the third quarter. Get another look at that. Maybe now we don't have that one queued up. But yeah, that's the first goal since the 8:42 mark of the first quarter. And it breaks a stretch of 12 straight goals for St. Stephen's. And that was badly, badly needed for Flint Hill. The problem is that they only got possession because of a face-off violation. They need to be able to sustain some success at the X, and look at that effort there from Garrison Ketta. Comes away with that and takes it into the offensive end. That's a great job from Ketta, the sophomore, who may get more midfield reps in the coming games, but today has shown his merit at the face-off X for sure. A lot of trouble sustaining the ball on both ends after that face-off one. It kicked around for a while. See if Flint Hill can get it in the offensive zone. They really need this possession. Matt Zecca with a soft pass to the middle, and he's very fortunate that Abrigo was able to get it after it was deflected away from him. You can see Flint Hill may be a step slower here in the second half, and obviously I'm sure they're frustrated with the score, but it's also just a smaller roster. This is not nearly as big a team as St. Stephen's. It's hard to keep these guys fresh, and it's a hot day, and you've got a first midfield that's basically playing both ways, many of these guys, much of the game. And you don't blame them for being a little tired. Mentioned earlier that 4 or 5 guys were late arriving for Flint Hill because they were taking their ACTs before the game. So they're shorthanded and they turn it over again. Here in the third quarter, already down by 10 goals. Told Johns Hopkins leads Maryland 2-1. And that game in the second quarter of play. Homecoming at Homewood Field, taking on the Terps from Maryland. Nice job clearing the ball that time by Wade Shervin, sophomore midfielder, seeing more and more time, left-handed guy. Does a nice job in transition. Hasn't tallied a point yet this year, but he's got the possession here, and perhaps we'll see him get a few chances. Gives it up quickly for Turner Schmidt, who's tallied a goal already today. And here is Shervin again. And you really see those guys going both ways. Shumway out there, Shevlin out there. Have not seen much of Nick Peterson, the senior, who was a big part of really everything this Flint Hill squad does. He's on the sideline. He's standing there. He's clearly healthy, but I think he's played almost the whole first half, maybe getting a breather. But the rest of the first midfield out there. Shot of the run, right on cue. Shervin trying to get into the scoring action, but misses just wide. Schmidt dodging from behind. Lefty feed to the middle, and that one floated over the top of the stick of Turner Schmidt. Getting a little physical there. Shervin with a body check and helps his team keep possession as the ground ball scooped up by Drew Weissman. Well, our MVPs in the first game were Alex Smith for St. Andrews and Ellen Stein for Tamatha, but I think there's no doubt who our MVP is going to be in this game. He just scored again. Drew Weissman on the board to make it 13-2 with 4:36 to go in this third quarter. Have yourself a day. Drew Weissman, that is 5 goals for him. And an assist on a very nice pass as well, right at the end of the first half. And again, it's really answering the call of his head coach, who says that if we get him going the way we know he can, the way he played early in this year, we're going to be even better, and they've gotten that. Drew Weissman, who had about 6 goals as of earlier this week, has tallied 5 in this game alone. And really setting up a powerful attack from St. Stephen's, assisted, of course, by Garrison Ketta, who wins another face-off there. He's kept the ball on the offensive end for his team pretty much the whole way. Feed to the middle, and that one a little bit behind the stick of Turner Schmidt. And another look after St. Stephen's got possession back, but they were unable to score. Here's Nick Peterson. We mentioned he was on the sideline earlier. He's going to try to clear it here. Gets it into the offensive end. And a goal after the flag came out. That was number 15 for Flint Hill, Matt Zecca, the attackman, the captain, and future collegiate player who scored after getting slashed in the head. So Matt Zecca scores, and his team will be man up for a minute after he got slashed in the head while finishing that shot. And, of course, possession without a face-off to Flint Hill, which is huge, given the way they've struggled at the X. Oh, no, we'll check that. No, they're gonna take a face-off. So I don't quite get. Flag was on Sam Cloud, who was the second time we've seen him in the penalty box. And this one for a minute. This would be huge if Flint Hill could get this face-off just to build some momentum with their man-up chance, but unfortunately for them, ball pushed into the offensive end by Hayden McDonald. Still out there to be gotten. Stick knocked out of the hands of Jake Shevlin, and possession back to St. Stephen's. They are a man down for the next 36 seconds. Jones-Veith jogging goal line extended and gives it up on the near side alley. Nate Archer, and they're going to be content to run out, I would think, most of this penalty before really going to work offensively. And you think Flint Hill would be aggressive here, but you can see kind of the fatigue, and Shevlin does try to get aggressive, falls down, and now they can bang the ball around, maybe create something, but ball popped right out of the stick of Luke Peterson. So a wise decision just to run out the remainder of the man down as Drew Altizer will join the midfield now as we're back at even strength with 2:25 to go in the third, and it's Altizer. Not a great pass behind. Good save made there by Aversa. John Aversa circles, spins back. Nice defense there as Grant Jenkins stuck with him. Archer on the move. Gets knocked to the turf. Didn't get the shot off. And there are a lot of white shirts there, and they're still having trouble winning the ball. And that one's flipped to the middle and almost into the stick of St. Stephen's Drew Weissman, who could have had his 6th goal of the day on that pass that fell right out of Jake Shevlin's stick. But fortunately, his team was able to maintain possession, but not for long. Another soft pass from Shevlin. That one is easily picked off by Dyson. He's on the move. He finds Aversa, and he tries a shot, and that one's wide. No one there to back it up, so possession of Flint Hill. Yeah, it's a nice job and good awareness by Drew Fellows to know no one's back there, and he can go chase after that and get possession for his team, and he did that. And this has been Fellows kind of under siege today. He's been identified by his coach as one of the key players on this squad, and he's in charge of directing an inexperienced group of defenders, and it's been a difficult task for him, but he's the key to their season, and certainly today he has not had an easy time, nor have any of the defenders who have been basically dealing with a very good attack the whole game because of the possession battle going the other direction. It's been all St. Stephen's of the face-off X. Minute to go. Zach Moramato out there, number 16, junior midfielder. Possession lost, though, for Flint Hill. Moramato, not a tall guy. He's out there. He can't be more than 5'5" or so, and he's standing right behind one of the taller players for St. Stephen's right now. I think that's Nick Cargas. It's quite a size disparity right at midfield. Nice ride there. Chance for Flint Hill. Feed to the middle. Nice pass from Shumway. Goes right to, I believe that's Tucker Riley, who finished at the goal. Again, we don't have 22 in our roster. I believe that's him, and we mentioned him earlier, and if that is him, that would be his first goal of the game. Makes it a 9-score game as set up by an aggressive ride and a good feed from Shumway. So with numbers, the Huskies able to capitalize. Makes it 13-4 with 28 ticks to go in the third. Another face-off here. It's Ketta taking on Burns. And once again, no answer for Garrison Ketta right now as he wins another face-off. He's got 13 seconds to work with here. Aversa, turning bounce shot. Nice job getting down in a knee by Fellows to make the save. 6 seconds to go. Ball at midfield. Shevlin trying to clear to the offensive end. Gets it ahead. Got it to Farrell. He's got 1 second left. Can't get a shot off. And that takes us to the end of the third. Score is 13-4 as we head to the fourth. It's been all St. Stephen's from the get-go. They lead this one as you're watching the second game of this doubleheader. Part of the Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic on the Hill 2014, presented by LacrossePlayground.com. As we get set for the fourth quarter, we want to remind you about our friends and sponsors at Trilogy Lacrosse. You've seen their logo in the bottom corner of your screen by the score bug the whole game. You see it on the screen right now. They're the leader in lacrosse education, providing instruction, competition, and exposure to players across the country. Are you interested in playing lacrosse in college? Then join Trilogy this summer at one of their invitation-only ACES events for the best possible exposure and competition. Trilogy's ACES events provide players with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to be seen by top NCAA lacrosse coaches, with specific events for middle school players, 2017 graduates, and high-achieving student athletes. Trilogy has an ACES event for every elite player. All ACES events are invitation only and nearing capacity. Players who wish to be invited can fill out an application on TrilogyLacrosse.com. Just visit TrilogyLacrosse.com/ACES to learn more and apply today. We're coming up with the fourth quarter. Stick with us here. You're listening to Prodigy Launch's broadcast of Flint Hill and St. Stephen's. Welcome you back here to Georgetown University. Start of the fourth quarter, 13-4. St. Stephen's is on top of Flint Hill, and another face-off win for St. Stephen's. That's Sam Dyson getting into the offensive zone. Sam, the younger cousin of Will, who you'll see on the second midfield. Sam wears number 10, Will wears number 40. He's a very athletic, competitive kid, learning the game a little bit, still a little raw, but has a lot of potential for this squad, and they've been working him into today's game. Can confirm, by the way, that Tucker Riley did score that last goal for Flint Hill. And the goal scored earlier was Drew Weissman. We missed a goal earlier, so that would be 6 for him if that's the case, and that's quite a day at the office for him. But also want to make sure we get Tucker Riley in there, number 22. Who scored that goal for Flint Hill, and another goal this time for St. Stephen's to go back up by 10. And that's John Aversa, the senior, getting into the act. A minute into the fourth quarter. Let's take a look here. Aversa curling to the top right-hand corner of your screen, catches that pass up high, shoots pretty quickly, gets rid of that in a hurry, and very good angle on that shot. So credit Aversa with another goal. And for John, that is that's 4. And another quick shot and a goal as they keep him coming. Luke Peterson, that looked like. The junior attackman getting inside and finishing. Off the face-off went. I'm just trying to get recapped on the scoring from the third quarter, and already more scoring here in the fourth. Couple quick goals for St. Stephen's to go up 15-4. Peterson on the goal, 15-4 now. And the first goal, as we said, John Aversa, and that was his 4th of the day. So 10:45 to go. Battle at the face-off X, which has been a really strong suit for St. Stephen's today and a struggle for Flint Hill all season. But this time, Ben Waters, the long stick midfielder and wing, comes away with that one. See if he can get into the offensive zone as it knocked away quickly. That was number 25, Harrison Bluestein, giving the ride. But Flint Hill able to keep possession and take it into the offensive end. 10 minutes to go, and in the second game of our doubleheader, 17-2 win for DeMatha opened us up, and a 15-4 lead for St. Stephen's here in the fourth quarter. Tough shot that time for Flint Hill, not a great look, and a save made by Sam Jones, who's taken over in goal for St. Stephen's. So should note him down. He's in the cage right now. That's number 11. He's a sophomore, getting a chance to play with a comfortable lead. Just got some depth in there. Chance to build up some of these other guys for what will be a long season, but a nice game for St. Stephen's. Game they were favored to win, but they had not played quite as well as they had hoped earlier this year. They've lost a number of very close games, and they've left no doubt today up 15-4. A bad turnover there. Peterson in transition doesn't have numbers, and then tries to push it inside anyway. Trotters down low and scores. Well, Nick Peterson wasn't waiting around for his teammates to get to the offensive end. He smelled an opportunity, dodged through a couple defenders, took a tough shot, and stuck it. One more look at that. Look at that. He's in the middle of a couple guys there. Chase Gorey's in there. He's got a pole on him. Wade Shervin was in there, and he finished it anyway. Nice job. That's, I believe, 2 on the day for Peterson. Makes it 15-5. 9 minutes to go in this, and another offensive look here for St. Stephen's. Get a look up top here for Matthew Fisher. We haven't seen him before. It's a sophomore, and he's in the game. Listed as an attackman, but it looks like they're running him on the midfield here along with Wade Shervin. And also Chase Gorey, so another sophomore we mentioned earlier. That's Turner Schmidt, who scored already today. He's out there with Cole Edmonds, a senior attackman we haven't seen yet until just now, and also Luke Peterson, who we saw score a goal just a couple of minutes ago. So here's Edmonds, the senior, being tracked behind the cage by Aaron Ellison, another senior, close defender for Flint Hill. To the middle, shot, misses well wide. That was Luke Peterson trying to get something going off the feed from Matthew Fisher. Reset here with 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. It has been pretty much all St. Stephen's. Flint Hill tallied the first goal, but the Saints have dominated since then. They snapped off 12 straight in a stretch spanning from 5 minutes to go in the first quarter all the way into the third quarter, and they have been in control ever since. The standout today, no doubt about it, Drew Weissman, the midfielder and junior for St. Stephen's, has scored 6 goals. He's assisted another, and he has played outstanding lacrosse today in every way. And he's the biggest reason why his team is on their way to a 7-4 record if they can hold on in the last 7 minutes, up by 10. Dodge to the middle that time from Zecca. Tries a shot, misses wide, backed up by Riley, who scored a goal earlier. Here's Shumway. Tries to thread one to the middle, and he bounced it. Abrigo couldn't take it in. Graham Leon trying to clear this one, and they'll work it to the near side, and a chance to get Sam Cloud involved. Again, these defenders really haven't had a whole lot of work today for St. Stephen's. Right now I see number 31, Wade Shervin, sort of back there with them, but do not see Joe Kenna, so I think his day is probably over. Again, he has been battling a little bit of a knee and ankle injury this last few weeks, but probably the top defenseman on this team and heading to play for Joe Bresci next year in North Carolina. 15-5, St. Stephen's on top. We've got 5:45 to go in the fourth. 50 minutes from here, Johns Hopkins playing host to Maryland in a homecoming matchup against the Terps. They lead that game 4-1 at last check. Second quarter of play, I believe. Dave Petramala's squad in bad need of a victory, trying to build a little something after beating Albany last week, and the 3 Thompsons. Penn and Harvard also in overtime. That's another interesting game to watch. Here comes Fisher down the left side with the step. Tries the shot, misses wide. And that's backed up by Turner Schmidt. Well, it's been a nice setting here at Georgetown today. Couldn't script any better weather for this type of event. If you're going to be out here all day watching some lacrosse, it's not been too hot, it's not been too sunny, it's been blue skies and 70 degrees. It's as nice as you can get, and it's about time. I think most people in this part of the country will tell you, after a brutal winter. Turning the corner here is Cole Edmonds. Lets one go and misses wide. But this tournament has been played at a number of different venues over the last few years, and this one obviously has acquitted itself nicely. This is the third year they've had this spring tournament. Luke Peterson scoops that one up, gets it over to his teammate Matthew Fisher. Fisher passes up on the shot. Nice choice that time. Didn't have a great look, and already up by 10 goals, trying to run some possession here. Certainly the Epoch Lacrosse sponsorship and tournament. This has been played at a number of different venues, including the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium, In the past, they've had Landon, Penn Charter, Gonzaga, Loyola, Haverford. This year, a look for St. Stephen's and for Flint Hill, and another goal here for the Saints. That was Matthew Fisher, who took a couple shots earlier in this possession, wasn't able to score on those. This time, he's able to get it done. Take another look at Fisher here. Catching that ball, making his run down the left side, taking on Reed Lavin and letting it fly with the left hand. (16-5) with 4 minutes to go in this one. Another face-off here. Flint Hill's Alex Burns battling for possession. And the wing play has been almost as important as the actual performance at the X today, and that's an area where St. Stephen's really has a decided advantage. Some of these balls have been 50-50 ground balls, and their wing players have just been a step quicker, and that was Hayden McDonald, who's a senior with plenty of experience, getting in there and scooping that ground ball up, and that's been the story today. This has been a team that has really played competitively at the face-off X and on the wings the whole game. And, again, we said part of it is just having fresh legs. They have a bigger roster, and they've got more experienced players, and they've certainly come to play today. Final with Penn beating Harvard in overtime, so that one's a wrap in the Ivy League. Sherman thought about that shot a couple times, decided to pass it up. Sent over to Fisher. Fisher cross field, gets it to Griffith. First time we've seen Perry Griffith, the junior midfielder, out there, as he one-hops a pass behind for Cole Edmonds. So Coach Tybal getting a number of reserves in some action with the last 3 minutes of this one. His team about to improve to 7-4 on the year. St. Stephen's, a number of really close losses this year, have dominated today, and that's a great finish in traffic by number 9, Turner Schmidt, his second goal of the game, and that time he did it while possibly be getting held, and he makes it 17-5. Really nice looking play. Let's take another look at this. Schmidt did not have an easy time of it. He was being defended very aggressively by Malik Zahed, splits him, gets through, and scores. Nice job. 2:40 to go in this. And it's now 17-5 on Schmidt's second goal. Face-off violation on Burns, and here come the Saints. That was Garrison Ketta out there again. He's had himself a day too. But looking at the season for St. Stephen's, it hasn't been the best start, obviously. This is a program with very high expectations, and they've lost some very tight games. But those 2 overtime losses could have gone either way, and you're looking at a much different result. And their goal is to hit the best lacrosse they can play by May, and they're getting there. Certainly a strong performance today against a team they have pretty much beaten throughout and have played very well against in the past, and certainly some very close games between these teams last year. This year, a much younger Flint Hill team and a little bit less depth, and they've struggled throughout this afternoon against a St. Stephen's team that may be finding its stride a bit. Here's Nick Peterson in the offensive end, and his coach Adam Rice will take a timeout here. Minute 44 to go in the fourth. It's 17-5. Flint Hill trying to set up another good possession here in the perhaps the final possession they'll look here in the fourth. And we'll step aside for just a moment. Be right back.
At the Academic Aces, what we're trying to do is narrow the recruiting field to reward the players and coaches that strive for a high academic excellence. The players have worked incredibly hard to get the right grades, GPA, SAT scores, etc. And for coaches that spend the bulk of their summers looking at players that they have no idea whether they can recruit, we want to make sure that our event ensures that both parties are a compatible match.
I'm Drew Bizik from Hamilton College, down here at the Academic Aces tournament. The weather's been great, and the play's been outstanding so far.
Here at Trilogy Academic Aces, and it's going really well. Lots of talent here, and lots of smart kids.
There's tons of talent here from a coach's perspective, which is great. Kids that are qualified academically as well as talent on the field.
Academic Ace is going smooth so far. A lot of good players. Excited to see what the rest of the week holds out.
I've been really impressed with Academic Aces. It's been
And we welcome you back to Georgetown as we wrap up our second game of our doubleheader today, with Flint Hill trailing 17-5 against St. Stephen's, trying to add another goal, and they do. Nice looking shot that time, down low. Tommy Shumway getting it done that time. Shumway tallying a goal. That's his second of the game for Flint Hill. So Coach Rice taking timeout with about a minute 40 to go and draws up a play, wants his guys to stay competitive and execute, and they do just that for him. As Shumway, the junior midfielder, is a really great all-around athlete who they'll play at midfield and attack. Scores that one. Makes it 17-6. Minute 30 to go. But it's been a lot of fun bringing you the Epoch Lacrosse Spring Classic today. Certainly want to thank Matt Burkhead and Prodigy Launch for putting this together, and Sandy Murdoch doing PA today and helping us out with the stats and the spotting and all that. It's made everything much easier, and of course the scores from around the country. It's now 5-1 Johns Hopkins, he tells me, so it's an alum that makes me happy. And of course thanks to the help from all the coaches and the programs we got from St. Andrews, from DeMatha, from Flint Hill, and from St. Stephen's. Especially in this game, Coach Rice and Coach Steibel have been so helpful and generous with their time to help us put this all together and bring you this broadcast. So thanks to them as well for putting this together. Our MVPs for this game, certainly an easy call on the St. Stephen's side. No doubt Drew Weissman, playing a fantastic game with 6 goals and an assist, earns those honors as we draw a whistle here and a warding off violation on Perry Griffith. And on the other side, we'll give it to Nick Peterson, the senior who scored a couple goals today and really has been the heart of this Flint Hill team, not only this season, but really for 4 years. And another guy's going on to play some lacrosse next year at Division III Middlebury. And that's a tough conference. Now, that's one of the top. Got some really good teams in that part of the country in the NESCAC. Obviously, a few years ago, Tufts won the national championship. There are a lot of very good teams there, and he'll be playing super competitive lacrosse as he weaves through 3 defenders, finds a teammate, that Shumway, Zeka, who gets a good look, but a save made, and now some flags come out as things get a little chippy on the clear attempt. That was a really nice bit of dodging there from Peterson. He set up his teammate well, but they couldn't finish, and that will finish this one off. 17-6, your final. St. Stephen's, the winner, to go to 7-4 on the year. Flint Hill drops to 3-5 on the season. These two teams often meet in the postseason. We'll see if they do again this year. Neither team had gotten off to as good a start as they did a year ago, but we'll see if they can turn it on late in the Virginia Independent School Athletic Association. And we mentioned our MVPs, but worth repeating in case you tuned in late, Drew Weissman basically took this game over from the first quarter on. And when he was out there, which was mainly the first, second, and third quarters, he was almost unstoppable, scoring 6 goals, tallying another assist on a really pretty pass, good field vision, and he played a heck of a game in a 17-6 win for his squad. Nice win today for them. Flint Hill struggled to win at the face-off X and ultimately overmatched over the course of the 4 quarters. They dropped this one 17-6. So once again, our thanks to Matt Burkhead and Prodigy Launch and the folks here at lacrosseplayground.com who have put this whole thing together. I'm Stu Johnson signing off from Georgetown. We appreciate your sticking with us and watching these 2 games today, and I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your weekend, folks.
Today's live broadcast is brought to you by Prodigy Launch. Contact Prodigy to create your lacrosse recruiting highlight video today. Take a moment to watch and learn why Prodigy's recruiting highlight videos are the most advanced as well as the best value. Visit ProdigyHighlights.com to learn more about Prodigy highlight videos and to order your high school recruiting video. Our highlight video is the most advanced in the country. Each video features a player introduction, player isolation graphics, in-video player information, background music, and online upload and delivery. 20 play videos feature custom team colors and up to 8 instant replays. Let's look at each of those features a little more closely. The player introduction starts each video, but more importantly, when players email their highlight video to recruiters, the player introduction is the first screen they see. The player introduction displays important information like player height, weight, and graduation year. Player introductions can be as detailed or as simple as the player wishes. The player isolation graphic is the most important part of the video. The graphic isolates the player prior to each play, making it easy to identify you throughout the video. Players who choose a 20-play highlight video can choose 2 custom team colors for their isolation graphic. Recruiters watch thousands of videos a year, and usually 15 to 20 per day. The in-video player information bar reminds recruiters who's in the video, and it displays your vital stats throughout the entire video. Players who choose a 20-play highlight video can indicate up to 8 plays that feature instant replay. Show off those great plays one more time. Once we complete your video, it's uploaded online and emailed to you immediately. Simply email your highlight video link to any recruiter, coach, or friend for instant watching. This feature is especially great for last-minute recruiting videos and for players who want to quickly send their videos immediately after their season or after a tournament. The best feature of our videos is their flexibility. You can embed your video into any online recruiting service. Or if you want the digital copy of the video, we can email a download link that allows you to quickly download your video. Need DVDs? Just let us know and we can make as many DVDs as you need for a small charge. While these are the greatest features of our highlight videos, we encourage you to contact us to ask how we can customize your video experience. We want to make your video work for you. Visit ProdigyHighlights.com to learn more about Prodigy highlight videos and to order your high school recruiting video.
At the Academic Aces, what we're trying to do is narrow the recruiting field to reward the players and coaches that strive for a high academic excellence. The players have worked incredibly hard to get the right grades, GPA, SAT scores, etc. And for coaches that spend the bulk of their summers looking at players that they have no idea whether they can recruit, we want to make sure that our event ensures that both parties are a compatible match.
I'm Drew Bizik from Hamilton College, down here at the Academic Aces tournament. The weather's been great, and the play's been outstanding so far.
Here at Trilogy Academic Aces, and it's going really well. Lots of talent here, and lots of smart kids.
You know, there's tons of talent here from a coach's perspective, which is great. Kids that are qualified academically, as well as talent on the field.
Academic Aces is going smooth so far. A lot of good players. Excited to see what the rest of the week holds out.
I've been really impressed with Academic Aces. It's been a ton of fun. I've been pushed to my limits. All the coaches are amazing, and the level of competition is really high.
It's a tough challenge these days to find the right opportunities for your kid. There's so many choices among camps, and this has been a really great opportunity for him to meet and learn about the recruiting process.